Konnichiwa, hello, how are you? If I wear this hat, the problem is that, it's really dark under here. This is about the extent of my Halloween costume these days. I think I bought this at the Daiso, like the Hyakuen store, the dollar store. And it's pretty much all I wear now for Halloween. Because, obviously I teach at college. We don't really do anything special for Halloween. But I do teach an Eikaiwa class, as you guys know, and I have young kids. I have first graders in elementary school up through sixth graders, 4 classes on every Thursday night. So we had our Halloween actually last Thursday because this coming up Halloween is a school holiday. So it just, we couldn't even have it right on the day. But anyway, it was fun. I gave out American candy. I bought some stuff when I went home. I try not to buy anything chocolate because it might melt. Because back in September when I was coming back, it was, it was still pretty warm, and you got to put things in your luggage. So I bought candy corn, and it does say America on it, so that's kind of cool. Just little tiny packets. I don't know, like 50 of these in a big bag for like $5. And then I bought some various other stuff here. Like Snickers and M&Ms and things that you can buy in Japan but that are American candy. And then actually, Japan gets in on it. Like they have Kit Kat here with pumpkin-flavored Kit Kat. So I bought a bunch of these. And, they don't really do Halloween here so much. Certainly older kids don't really participate at all. But younger kids get exposed to it because it's a popular lesson for elementary schools to ask you to teach when you're a foreign teacher. The funny thing is, of course, is that, like the JET program, for example, employs people from New Zealand, Australia, England, South Africa, all these places that don't necessarily... I think England now pretty much has Halloween. But I know I was talking to a Kiwi friend, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. They don't know anything about Halloween. And he runs another Eikaiwa school, and he's like, yeah, we don't really do anything for it. Because, he just doesn't know it. But, I mean, obviously all you really have to do is teach them how to say Happy Halloween or Trick or Treat, and, put up some skeletons and ghosts and pumpkin decorations maybe. And but my head teacher at my Eikaiwa school really goes all out. She kind of makes a little haunted house. She did that last year, so to not repeat this year, she kind of made a haunted classroom, and she puts up all these black, like trash bags on the walls and all these decorations, and covers the tables with these, what do you call those, table covers? Yeah, but there's a word for it. Anyway, that are all like Halloween pumpkin decorations and everything. Anyway, so it was fun. This is going to be a random grab bag of a few things. Just wanted to throw a vlog up on Sunday. I won't do Dogs and Demons probably until Monday or Tuesday. I went and saw Sumo on Friday. I took a day off work and went to a place in Shimane called Masuda. They had a regional tournament, and if you're a follower on Facebook, you saw some pictures I put up already. I had a great time. I was probably the only... how should I say it? White foreigner, I guess you could say. Well, you can't really say American foreigner. That's not a good way to say it. The only, there are like, 2 of the students that came with me are from Mongolia, so they're foreigners. They're just, they're not white. I don't really know any other way to put it. So I kind of stuck out. Plus, I'm sumo size. So I think some people probably thought I was like Kotooshu or, Aoyama's brother, some of the Bulgarian and Eastern European wrestlers. But yeah, it was really fun. You get to be really close to the wrestlers. A lot of the students that came with me were able to get signatures and pictures. And I got to high-five Hakuho, which is kind of like, it's kind of like if you were back in the day, like Michael Jordan when he was, predominant with the Bulls. Like if they played like a pickup game against the Celtics in some school gym somewhere in rural sticks nowhere, and you got to like, meet them at the end as they're walking out to get on their bus to take them back to the airport or whatever. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. What else? My school, my university had our Bunkasai, our culture festival. It's something that happens at a lot of schools this time of year. My old junior high is about to have theirs on Halloween. I wanted to go, but unfortunately I teach 2 classes on Thursdays, and I just can't reschedule. It's just too hard to get out of that kind of commitment to go do something personal. If it had been the next day, November 1st on Friday, I would have been able to take the day off and go. At the junior high level, when I used to be in ALT, they sing songs by class and are, you know, kind of in a concert chorus competition, and then they have kind of a talent show, and then there's little comedy bits, and then they usually do something that's traditional culture, like some kind of dance or song, or you know, some kind of kagura, or you know, something. And that's tied in because November 4th is a national holiday in Japan. It's called Bunka no Hi, Culture Day. But we do ours earlier because at the 16th, I think, of October it was, or the 12th of October, somewhere like the second Monday in October is Taik no Hi, I think is how you say it. But it's basically sports day. A lot of elementaries and junior highs have their sports day even earlier, but we just time our culture festival to be that weekend because it's a 3-day weekend. And so they have Saturday to prepare, and then they actually do the activity Sunday and Monday, the Monday holiday. So that was a little while ago, and it was fun. We had great weather. We got really lucky. There's been so many typhoons hitting Japan recently. It's been really rainy, and not so much in my area, but in other parts of Japan, and more so, I'd say, even like in central to, you know, Japan to like Tokyo. Just a lot of really nasty, windy, rainy weather. So they escaped it for that few days for my culture festival at school. So that was fun. What else has been going on? Nothing much. This is the kind of period where I wish I could, you know, be a little bit more active, but I have very few funds because I don't really, you know, I didn't work in September. I was in America the whole time, so I don't get a paycheck in October. So I don't get another paycheck now until, you know, like November 10th, I think, you know, we're around there. So it's like I'm kind of really low on money, and it's kind of hard to like go and do things. I think there's a YouTube meetup in Kobe, which I would have loved to have gone to, but you know, I just can't. I just can't afford to travel there and you know, maybe stay the night in a hotel, etc., etc. So I have my kendo sword out here. It's kind of hard to see, I guess, in the thing. And you're wondering, why, Jason, did you pull out your kendo sword? Well, I had a huge frickin' spider in my house the other day. This is what happened. I was taking a nap, of all things, and the doorbell goes off, so I'm running out of bed, and I'm like, hello, in Japanese, and the people say hello, and I say, who is it? And because I'm like, you know, trying to put a shirt on and, you know, trying to delay for time while I get properly attired. And they're like, oh, it's a volunteer group. And I open the door, and it's 2 Mormons. I hate that. And so I just yelled at them and said, go away. And then as I rounded the corner to, like, you know, check my face, like, you know, splash water on my face and sort of wake up, right above my sink in my bathroom area, there was this huge, you know, spider. And, you know, it kind of sensed I was there. I turned on the light, and it kind of scurried into a corner. So I wrapped some, like, you know, paper towel on this with a rubber band, and literally, you know, it was like going, bah, bah, you know, like getting at it with this. I wasn't like whacking at it like a kendo move, but and then it fell to the ground, and then I smushed it. I'm sorry, you know, some of these spiders, man, they're just huge. So that's about it. That's about all I need to tell you. Oh, there's one other thing, and I guess this video is now going to go over 10 minutes, but maybe not. I can maybe do it. Government panel eyes lowering school age to 5. So this is kind of an interesting article. There's been a lot of education-related stuff in the news lately, and you know, the current cabinet is trying to think of ways, and I think a lot of it is being spurred by the Olympics. You know, now that we know that they're coming to Tokyo in 2020, you know, we've got about 7 years or so to kind of get the nation ready, and we know the influx of foreigners that will come to Japan. You know, the common language will be English. for the most part. Most foreigners that visit Japan don't speak Japanese. So, you know, they want to really feel like, how can we kind of really foster this development? One thing is another article just a few days ago is that, like South Korea and Taiwan, which are two other Asian nations that do better at English than Japan does, they want to lower the starting age to 3rd grade. Currently, they don't really start with any set curriculum until 5th grade in Japan, and that was only just started in 2011. It used to be 7th grade was really the start, the first time they had a textbook and tests and were really kind of assessed on their abilities, given a grade. That got lowered to 5th grade, but really all they do in those 5th and 6th grade years, from what I know from when I was a jet, because it had just started, like they were just getting it, like beta testing it when I was a jet in 2008, 2009, is, you know, the book that they were using then, and I think it's the same book, Eigo Noto, it's just really like, you know, get them used to the letters, get them used to the sounds, teach them a few simple phrases, aisatsu greetings, and, you know, there's really not much to it other than just kind of making them more like familiar with it, and then giving them a book where they might like look at a book and listen to the sound and kind of try to, you know, combine the two, but still really no phonics, none of the things that they really need to get better at the language. Anyway, so they're thinking of dropping it to 3rd grade, which would mean they really do need teachers who, you know, that's 4 years of elementary school, 3, 4, 5, and 6, who are, you know, qualified to teach English. So you might start seeing teachers at the elementary level who are English teachers who teach, you know, those classes only, maybe, as opposed to a homeroom teacher who teaches, you know, science and math and Japanese and PE, and they do everything. I don't know. There's changes afoot if this all goes through. And so this article is talking about the fact that they want to start compulsory education at the age of 5 instead of the age of 6. Now that has nothing to do with English per se. You know, they're just looking at some models from around the world and, you know, what seems to work. Basically, you have to stay in school in Japan until you're 15, almost 16. When you graduate from 9th grade, I'll call it 9th grade, the last year of middle school in Japan, you can stop going to school. You don't have to go to high school in Japan. It's not mandated by the government. And I think that's a throwback to like when farming was much more important. You could stop working, stop going to school and start working on the farm. And there are a few kids who don't go to high school, who get jobs, and, you know, but without a high school diploma, just like in America, your job prospects are really low. I think 95% of kids go to high school in Japan. It's a really low number that choose not to go. But anyway, so what they're talking about, and there's a little chart here, is, you know, how we divide up the school year. So obviously after World War II, they adopted the then American system of 6 years of elementary, 3 of middle, 3 of high school. Of course, America kind of has changed now to a 5, 3, 4, I think. Is that right? You know, where they go 1 to 5 in elementary, then they go 6, 7, and 8 in middle, and then they do, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in high school, so 9 to 12 in high school. And I went to schools in both those systems when I was in America. So, you know, let me know what did you do when you were in high school? If you're currently in high school, what was your situation for middle and elementary? When did you make the cut to go to a new school? So they're actually proposing something that would be pretty different. And let me see if I can find a 4-4-4 system, which I find kind of interesting. So basically, 1st grade through 4th grade would be one school, elementary, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 would be middle, and then 9, 10, 11, 12 would be high school. So it's not that much different from the American system. It's just you know, because when you teach elementary, you really do find there's a big difference between sixth graders especially and all the kids below them. And they really are starting to be more adult-like, and you can do more with them. And I'd say even fifth graders, you could pull them along and have them be the beginning of that thing. And then I think the same thing in junior high. You know, there's a big difference between your Ichinen, say your seventh graders who are like 12 years old, and your 15-year-old ninth graders. Their interests, what they're looking to, you know, get out of school, you know, the way the maturity, you know, the way they relate to boys and girls, you know, a lot of things change in those years. So I don't think that's such a bad thing, you know, to go up to 8th grade and then they start a new school 9th grade onward. I mean, it'd be a big change in Japan, so who knows? But and then like I said, they're thinking of lowering the age 1 year to have them actually start at first grade would be when they're 5 years old instead of 6 years old. Now I don't know about that. You know, it's hard. It's hard. I teach some really young kids at the Eikaiwa, and you know, just for that half an hour, I have to try to teach them, and there's only a few of them. It's really hard to keep their attention, and you can't do anything based on what they're looking at. We have a textbook that we use, but it's all verbal and oral and visual, as opposed to like you know, they're not being able to read, and I mean they can barely you know, read and write their own language, let alone English at that point. So, wow, this went way beyond what I was gonna cut it off at 10 minutes, and look at it's almost 17. All right, well, if you watched all the way to the end, Royal Milk Tea. Tell me what your favorite winter beverage is. It feels like winter. We really didn't have a fall. I got back from America in late September. It was hot as hell. I started work on October 1st, and those first couple weeks of school, I was sweating in the classroom. It was so humid. And then it was like we had one weekend of sort of mild weather, and boom, it started to rain and everything, and now it's cold. It's like 19 in here. So it's not cold in my house, and I mean, I'm not wearing jackets or anything necessarily, but it already feels like winter's coming, like we didn't have an autumn, you know? So tell me your favorite winter beverage. I do like the Royal Milk Tea. I always drink it cold, but you can get it hot out of the kombini or out of the Jido Hanbaiki, the vending machine. And tell me what if you watched all the way to the end, tell me what your favorite Halloween candy is. What did you always look forward to getting? One of my favorite candies that I don't know if it's around anymore is called bottle caps. If you want to send me some bottle caps, if you have a way to get some, I would be happy to send you some kind of Japanese mono, some kind of Japanese thing in exchange for some bottle caps. But yeah, chocolate. I mean, I like just about everything that you would get on Halloween. And so yeah. Thanks for watching another vlog. Like I said, Dogs and Demons will be up midweek, probably Tuesday would be my guess. And so we'll have another video up fairly soon. Okay, peace, take care. It's going to be November 1st soon. I'll probably do another one of these right then at the beginning of November, so see you then. Bye.